Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I really wanted to film a favorites video because I haven't done that in forever. So today we're going to be talking about some beauty favorites, some skincare favorite, some book favorites, and just kind of things I've been loving the last couple of months. I don't think I've done a favorites video since January maybe. I can't remember exactly. So I'm excited to talk about all of these things with you guys and kind of just go over some of my new favorite stuff that we haven't talked about for a while. If you guys are new here, hi, I'm Kendra. And if you want to see some of my book videos and beauty videos and vlogs, travel vlogs, reading vlogs, all that kind of stuff, then don't forget to subscribe before you go. But let's just get right on into this video. Okay, so today I think I'm going to start off with beauty stuff, and I don't think it's going to take me too long. I have the Glossier Balm.com in the flavor slash shade slash whatever you want to call it, mango. It's honestly like a translucent coral tint. Like when you rub it on your lips, you can't see anything, but it smells divine, and I say that. Mango is my one of my least favorite fruits. Like I don't love mango, but I like the smell of mango a lot, but actual mango, I'm like, it's not really my thing. But this smells amazing, and it literally smells like a fresh mango slushy or something is on your lips. And if you guys didn't know, Balm.com by Glossier is one of my favorite things of all time ever. I wear these every single day. I have like every flavor. So also, if you didn't know, I'm a Glossier rep. You don't need a discount code. You just use glossier.com/reps/Kendra. It's always down below in the description box. That'll get you 10% off of your first order as well as free shipping. You don't need a code. You just have to go to that, add things to your cart and check out, and it'll automatically apply to your order. The next thing I want to talk about is something I'm wearing on my lips right now, and that is the Kylie Cosmetics glosses. I only have two shades. I have Daddy's Girl and Yes Girl. I've had these for maybe about a month and I've been using them all the time. Right now I have a different lip product beneath, but I have this shade Yes Girl on top. It looks like a weird color, but it definitely doesn't come off like that color on your lips. It just adds a little bit of like a golden rosy kind of sheen on top, and it's so pretty. Again, I wear these like every single day. I love the Yes Girl one. I'm going to buy more because she came out with more like right after I bought these, and they have, some of them have a little bit more tint to them, and I do like them sheer, but I like when they have a little bit of tint to make my lips look like there's a little bit of something on them, you know what I mean? Love those. The next thing that I've been loving is the Color Icon Wet n Wild blush. This is in the shade Keep It Peachy. I do have this on my cheeks, but I also have it mixed with a different blush by ColourPop. But I love the orange like tint to this blush. I think it's so pretty on the cheeks. I've always been a fan though of these Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes. I think they're some of the best blushes at the drugstore, and they're so affordable. This is like $2.99 I think. So if you haven't tried Wet n Wild blush, I highly recommend it. This one just happens to be my favorite shade, and I think it's newer within the last like 6 months or so. Love the Wet n Wild blushes though. The next product I have here is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is a product, it's kind of like a hybrid highlighter slash you can use it under your makeup. Today I use it under my makeup. I use it under my makeup every single day. I'll use it like in this area, and then in the C area, and then on my forehead, because I really like having super glowy skin, and I have really dry skin, so I love this product. One of my friends here on YouTube, Anna, she used this the other day as like a highlighter as well. It is super glowy and super highlighty, so you could totally use this just as a highlighter without using it underneath your makeup, and just use it as a cream highlighter and like blend it in on your cheekbones. It looked amazing on her, so I highly recommend that if you want to do that. But I do love this underneath the makeup as well. I know there's tons of like beauty guru YouTubers out there who love using this underneath their makeup as well, and that's where I got the idea, that's where I found this. But I've had this for probably about 2.5 weeks, and I've used it every single day, and I like can't not use it. That's how much I love it. So is it a little expensive? Yeah, I think it's probably like $45, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get my like money's worth because I'm going to use it like every day, you know? The next product I've talked about before on my YouTube channel, but I just want to mention it again. This is the First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer, and I have the shade 1. I use this under my eyes and on the center of my forehead. This is a light, maybe medium coverage concealer, but it looks so skin-like, and it doesn't look like you're wearing a crazy ton amount of concealer, but it does a good job of covering what you need it to cover. This isn't pigmented enough to cover like my serious blemishes, and I'll tell you the next concealer that is in just a second. But I do love this. I wear this every single day. This is my 3rd tube of this one, I believe. I've been using it every single day since like October of last year, I think. So about 6 months now. Love this stuff. If you want like a very natural, lightweight concealer, I highly recommend this one. I've been loving it, and I still love, well, I've been loving it for a long time. But, and I know I've mentioned it before, but I had to just say it again. The next one that I was just talking about earlier is the Fenty Beauty Concealer. I have the shade 140. I love this for covering blemishes, or if I feel like I'm having a really dark under eye day, I will dot just a little bit after I've used the other concealer and blend it out. But this is really great for covering up the blemishes around my face because it is very pigmented, so a little goes a very long way. I'll just do a tiny little dot and blend it out, and it looks good all day and it doesn't dry me out. I used to use the Tarte Shape Tape for that, but like at the end of the day, those areas would look so dry, and the Tarte Shape Tape is just such a dry formula, but this doesn't get that dry, and so that's why I'm really here for that. I'm here for this, yeah. So those are all the beauty favorites I have to talk about right now. I have one skincare favorite, and this is the Glossier Milky Oil. I never used to be a fan of removing eye makeup with like an eye makeup remover. I would just always do it with a makeup wipe, which can be really harsh, but I would be really gentle on my eyes. But when Glossier came out with this milky oil, I was like, well, I have to try it. I didn't get it for free. I bought it with my own money. Because of that, I'm only gonna recommend it to you if I think it's worth it. Now, if you're wearing like hella eye makeup, it's not going to come off in like one swipe. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have to work at it. If you like are like me and you typically don't wear heavy eye makeup, this is a really great option to remove your eye makeup. I just like put it on a cotton round, and then I'll just like lay it on there for like 15 seconds or so, and then I'll start slowly rubbing, and then I'll start rubbing a little bit more and then wipe away. And it has truly like wiped away almost all of my eye makeup, and then the rest will be removed by the face wash I use. So I highly recommend this. It's pretty inexpensive. I want to say it's like either $12 or $16. I've had this for about 2 months, and I'm a little more than halfway through it, so it just lasts a decent amount of time, and I will definitely be repurchasing that. As you heard me say earlier, I'm a Glossier rep, so you could get a discount on it if you want to try. Let's talk about some book favorites. Now, I've obviously been reading tons of books since the last time I did a favorites video, so I'm not going to talk about all of them. This is just about the few that are like my fave or really stand out to me, or like I have to recommend to you guys. So let's get into it. Let me show you. Okay, so the first book I want to talk about is the book A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This was made into a movie you might have seen. I've talked about this on a previous YouTube video because I talked about it in my February wrap up. I think I read this in February. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. It is amazing, and this is now one of my favorite books of all time. It follows a 11-year-old boy named Connor whose mom is battling cancer, and it's like his way of coping with it and understanding with it and dealing with it and all that kind of stuff. And it is just one of the most beautiful stories of all time, in my opinion, and my opinion is fact. I'm just kidding. No, but I'm serious. I think everyone should read this. It's about 200 pages, 205 pages, but the copy I have does have a couple of like illustrations. Sometimes they're just this small, and then sometimes they're like the full page, but this isn't like a picture book. Anyways, you could read this in one sitting. Like if you had a couple hours to read this, you could easily get through this. It's a very easy read, but the words are compelling, the story is compelling, everything about it. I love it. The next book I want to mention to you guys is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I read this in March. I think it was like middle of March. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but before I lose your attention, because I feel the same way, if you're disinterested immediately, I feel the same way. I am not a fairy tale retelling gal. I just want to hear new stories. I don't want to hear retellings from fairy tales, and especially fairy tales that I already like. Beauty and the Beast is not one of my favorite fairy tales, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I already like that story. I don't want to hear another version of it. This was amazing. This follows a girl named Harper who has cerebral palsy, but she has like a minor case, and it really affects her leg, like her foot, and sometimes she limps. And it is an amazing representation of disability in this book. I think the author did it very well. I obviously can only speak from the little experience I've had because I don't have cerebral palsy, and I don't have anyone in my family who has cerebral palsy. But it is an amazing rep because this does not define her. Like, the problem she has in her leg with her cerebral palsy does not define her at all. One day she's walking around, she hears this scream from a girl, she runs to figure out what it is, and she like jumps on the attacker, and then all of a sudden she's transported to this other world, and that's how she gets put in this like Beauty and the Beast realm, or whatever you want to call it. And that's where she meets our Beast and his trusty like guard, Gray. Gray's like the Ren's best friend. Ren is our Beast. Gray is like his guard, his like first guard, like top soldier kind of guy. Loved this book. This was amazing. I gave this probably 4.5 out of 5 stars. I barely found any faults in this. There was just like one where I was slightly disappointed. Everything else, incredible. Highly recommend this. I read this in a couple of days, loved it. The next 2 books I want to mention are from the same series, and I'm going to show you the first book in the series, even though it's not my favorite, but I feel like I obviously have to set up this world for you if you haven't read this at all. A lot of you who are readers already know this, but some of you who are only maybe kind of readers or aren't readers, you might not know. This is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. The first book is not my favorite for sure. Like, I enjoyed it, but compared to the other books, not my favorite. We follow one of this world's best assassins named Selena, and something happened to her before this book started where she was put in as like a slave in a salt mine, and the prince of this little kingdom here, Dorian, comes to basically make her his champion for this like tournament that's going on within his kingdom area, like within their country. And that's how the story starts. It is so funny that the story starts that way, because the world and the story and the characters all end up so differently as the series goes on. That's not the book I wanted to mention though. The books that are so good from this series is Heir of Fire. This is book 3. It is a heifer. It is quite a large one. It's not super big, but it's like 550, I think. Yeah, about 560 pages. It is so good. This is my favorite book out of the entire series, so I wanted to recommend this to you. I obviously can't tell you what happens in it. If you haven't read the books, then you wouldn't know. Just know that if you do start this series, you have book 3 to look forward to. And then also book 6, which is Tower of Dawn. Again, I can't really tell you what goes on. This actually doesn't follow our main character, Selena. This follows a different main character who's a boy, well, a man. He's like a young man. But I did not like him at all before this book started, and at the end of this book he became like one of my new faves, like for sure. And the other characters we meet in this book are my new faves as well. So I highly recommend starting the Throne of Glass series. It is such a good fantasy series, and I just love everyone involved. All the characters are so awesome. Anyways, I had a couple of music favorites I wanted to mention to you guys. Like at the beginning of this year, I kind of went through a music drought, and then lately I found some good jams. I'm gonna tell you that much. So I wanted to shout some of them out. All of Hozier's new album that came out like a month ago, I am into it. First of all, he came out with like an EP like late last year, I think, and NFWB. Why don't I just find it? NFWMB, and it stands for Nobody F's With My Baby. Love that song. And then he came out with a whole other album, I think in late March or something like that. I'm obsessed with all of the songs. My favorites, let me just tell you. My favorites are Dinner and Diatribes, No Plan, Movement, and I mean, like, all of them are really good. Did you guys see Us? Like the horror film, so good with Lupita. Loved it, but like they brought back the song I Got 5 on it. So good. I've been listening to that nonstop. Like, I've been listening to that since like the beginning of this year, since they first used it in a trailer. I love that. All of Billie Eilish's new album is so good. My favorites are Goodbye, I Love You, All the Good Girls Go to Hell, Zanny, Bad Guy. I mean, they're all so good. So like, I hate picking favorites, but there you go. And then Lolo's Y just actually came out with a new album like 2 days ago as I'm filming this, and I've been listening to it non-stop. I know I've talked about Lolo's Y on my channel before, but like I think it was like November of last year when I talked about her. I'm going to see her live on May 7th. I'm so excited. Anyways, my favorites are Summer in Vegas, Moi, Out the Bottle, and Be Coupe, which is like French, but it's so cute. Like, this is Moi. Anyways, her entire album is so good and I want to shout her out because she deserves all you guys to listen to her music. This video has gotten long enough. I am going to wrap things up here. I hope you guys enjoyed my favorites video. If we share any of the same favorites, or if you have any book recommendations or anything like that, let me know in the comments down below. You guys know I love responding back to your comments, so don't forget to leave me a comment if you want to chat. And that is going to be it for today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, and I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great morning, noon, evening, day, night, whenever happens to be that you're watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!